Once again, good afternoon. Christopher 9 Edwards Road, Norwalk, was charged with felonious assault in connection with severely injuring a 9-month-old baby boy. The evaluation on the part of the medical staff at Akron Children's Hospital determined 4 fractures of the extremities and the remainder of the fractures in the torso of the child. This particular most recent attack occurred on July 19th. However, there were a series of attacks, and the infant was already suffering from previous untreated injuries. Mr. Mills admitted to the injuries. Mr. Mills admitted to injuring the 9-month-old boy numerous times and is now incarcerated on a $100,000 bond. A search warrant was executed at 309 Edwards Road, Norwalk, Ohio, earlier this morning in an effort to secure further evidence. And at this point, I'd like to recognize the expertise on the part of Akron Children's Hospital and our own Huron County Children's Services and all their staff. We worked extremely close with both agencies, and they were a significant asset to the investigation. There's not enough I can say about the staff at Akron Children's Hospital and how beneficial they were to help us bring this investigation to a successful end. I'll take a few questions.
Was it where it was the abuse actually happened in the house? I don't whatever address it is. I have it on a report, but at the residence. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Also, it was that Mills is the father of the child.
That's not correct.
That's not correct. Okay. So, what relationship does he have to the child?
The mother's boyfriend. Mr. Mills is the mother's boyfriend.
How many different instances do you have? Are you aware of?
We are aware of 3 over a period of the last 2 months. That information just came out during the investigation. Those instances, those attacks on that child went unreported, and those injuries went untreated.
Was anyone else at home at the time of these attacks, such as the mother?
That information is close to the investigation, and at this point I don't think it's proper to reveal it until we close the investigation.
So she wasn't at home then?
You have another question?
Jim, I know the Morning Journal. Have you guys talked to the father, the biological father?
He's been notified, and it's my understanding he attended a hearing, the shelter care hearing for the child yesterday morning in Norwalk, or correction, Huron County Juvenile Court.
Are we releasing his name?
Not at this time.
Are other charges pending for anyone else, possibly the mother, possibly?
I think it's fair to say at this point that it's still early in the investigation, and there are some persons of interest that we still need to speak to in more detail. We do feel strongly, though, that Mr. Mills is the primary actor in the attacks against the child. The question comes to care and neglect as far as the previous injuries are concerned.
Was Mr. Mills, was he babysitting at the time, or, I mean, it's obviously, does he live in the house? Is that his address? Obviously.
That's where he's living, yes.
Yeah. And you guys never did find any criminal history on the guy? I mean, up to this
We have no record of any criminal history on Mr. Mills. He reported at one point he was a resident of Toledo and then Sandusky and recently moved into our area.
Did he have any motive? Did he have any motive?
Say he lost his temper. Lost his temper, and the child paid the price for his temper.
Did he say what the child did to make him lose his temper?
I don't think there's anything rational a 9-month-old baby could have done to cause him to lose his temper. The detectives executed a search warrant this morning, as I said earlier, at 309 Edwards Road. We did see some evidence and some receipts, and also gathered some information that I think is important in the investigation. Everything will be, let me recant that. The entire investigation should be finished in the next few days, and the entire investigation will be sent to the Huron County prosecutor for review of charges. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Was there anything specific that you guys were looking for when you executed the search warrant this morning?
Well, in all violent acts, we're looking for evidence of that crime. Also, the opportunity to view the scene of the crime, to document the scene, and to prepare it for court.